Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the 101st review of the What Is It playlist. And we will be taking a look at this guy. This is Grizzly Long Cut Straight. The last time this was reviewed on this playlist was in 2019. And that is most likely the last time I had this product. Not a huge fan. Not really anything wrong with the product. I'm just not a huge fan. That said, it is standout in one way. This is a regular line Grizzly product that is not a dark, so forth. That is 100% U.S. tobacco. So we are going to take it over the desk, take a closer look at the packaging, the product inside, before I bring it back up and let you know what I think. This playlist, the What Is It playlist, and another review from it will pop up in the last 20 seconds of this video on screen. I also would like to draw your attention to the two links in the description. They are how this channel is funded. I do thank you for your consideration. Off we go. I do want to note at this time the date, because I believe YouTube will not be seeing this until sometime in July. The date today, the date I will be uploading this to Patreon, is the 17th of April 2025. That's the 17th of April 2025. And I am thinking that this is a fairly fresh can. I have not checked the date. I am going by the fact that there's no real dings on the thin raised rim, which is a near constant with American Snuff Company products. So the base color is sort of a burgundy brown, metallic burgundy brown. Everything is pretty straightforward. There is a thin raised rim in the American Snuff Company fashion, and the letters of the word Grizzly are also straight. Moving around to the side, we are right to the barcode. And then the manufacturer information. This is manufactured by American Snuff Company, LLC, out of Clarksville, Tennessee. They are now headquartered out of Clarksville. It is 100% U.S. tobacco. It's a standard dip can. It is 1.2 ounces net weight. That is 34.02 grams for those overseas. You have American Snuff Company branding. You have branding and the cut and flavor. It is interesting, and I'm guessing I've just sort of forgotten. This is embossed. This is, the letters of this are raised on the banding. You have that thing, which is something my generation hasn't quite figured out yet. You have one of the holes that are most likely from sort of some production line automation. That is the website. I have not been over there recently. And then a fatter, not wrapped so much around the whole can, warning label. Moving to the back. Oh, and this is pretty darn fresh. So B5 is February 2025. And what is going on with the diagonal? Like, it's that straight. Everything's on a. Okay. Anyway, we're not gonna pause on that. It's on a standard American Snuff Company can. It's textured in the middle with this dimple, and you have the smooth outer. There is something of note here, and I have not really done Grizzly products for a while. But didn't there used to be stickers on the back of these? The whole popping the bear thing? With that depression in the middle? Wasn't there stickers on the back of Grizzly cans? Not sure. Let me know in the comments. We're going to open this up. It's a rubbery American Snuff Company band. You're not really getting as much of a paper sound cut going with that. Not a big deal. And we're open. And that is what you have. It's a little bit all over the place. That is representing the way it actually is. The cut is as it really always has been, or as I remember it. It's intermixed. There's a lot of anomalies, but they're evenly spaced anomalies, so we're going to let that slide. The product, it's bouncing back a little bit. These tend to be lower moisture level, which is probably why I am not a huge fan of Grizzly. They're sort of like Skull that way, only the cut isn't as good as Skull. Although, that said, nicotine will be a little bit higher. I don't know what all this is. They're promoting their nicotine pouches. Nicotine pouches, but for men. Keep telling yourself that. Okay, so let's pull a little bit out here. And that's what you're looking at. It clings on itself. There is moisture. It is, you can see the moisture on the paper towel. It's just not as much as some other products. It's not as much as Copenhagen products. It's definitely not as much as Stoker's. I am getting a smell of a classic straight coming off the can, and it is getting to me from about 1.5 feet, 2 feet away. So we'll take it back up top, and I'll let you know what I think. Okay. What you have is basically a classic straight flavor, like a classic profile of straight. It's not smoky like Copenhagen straight. It's not, like their dark select. It's not Stoker's. It's what sort of the idea of Skull classic straight and all the second and third tier products that try to emulate that. This is sort of in line with that. I am expecting it will pinch. It's not pinching that great, to tell you the truth. But that might be the way the can was packed. So, the moisture on this, because the can's only 2 months out of its date, from its manufacture date, is, as with the smell, a classic flavor profile, a classic straight. Unlike this Skull product, I'm going to go out on a limb, and there are not numbers available for this, and say this probably has more nicotine. It's not taking any risks. It's just what your default idea of straight is. It's not my default idea of straight, because I have always gone to Stoker's, and failing that, Copenhagen Dark Select, depending. Do I dislike the classic profile? No, I don't dislike it, and I don't really dislike this product. I'm just sort of neutral on it. I wouldn't find myself, unless there wasn't other things available, I wouldn't find myself buying this for my own personal use, outside of review. That all said, this can will be used in its entirety. And I am sort of digging it right now, because I am so usually in a different lane when it comes to straights, that this actually sort of has a novelty factor with me at the moment. It does juice up. There is a little sort of a tangy zing, but no real mouthfeel whatsoever. The older 2019 review will be with the old style bear, but I believe outside of that, it's pretty much the same. I remember in 2019, the product then also had basically a brown, metallic brown base color. So with that, it's a good product. This one is going well with me because it's really fresh and the moisture level is still pretty darn good. As far as good as it gets with Grizzly. But Grizzly, in my experience, does run drier, sort of like Skoal. Unlike Skoal, the Grizzly products usually have higher nicotine levels. But the Grizzly products do not have the Skoal cut. And with that, this has been my review of Grizzly Long Cut Straight. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy. I do hope you all are well. As always, do take care of yourselves, and God bless.